Breaking news tonight, the city of Baton Rouge and America reeling. 3 police officers dead, 3 wounded in a brutal attack today. I want to bring in Baton Rouge Councilman Lamont Cole and Congressman Garrett Graves of Louisiana. I'm sorry, so sorry for the loss that you suffered there in Louisiana. Representative Graves, you represent the people who live in the district where this terrible tragedy took place. Can you tell us any more about the shooting?
Absolutely. This appears that it was intended to be somewhat of an ambush against our police officers. Of course, investigation is still ongoing. We want to make sure we understand everything that happened, but this appeared that this was a well-planned event. It was very intentional. Folks have talked about some of the social media feeds of the suspect in this case, but the good news is that it looks like that this was one person, at least at this point, and he has been killed, as you know. But bottom line is, this is not what our community is about at all.
Representative Graves, my apologies. I need to cut you off here. We need to go to a press conference in Louisiana happening right now with Sheriff's press conference assistant. It appears that that's just an interview. Those are the 3 gentlemen we had on earlier in the hour here on CNN. It was actually in our 10 o'clock hour, 10 o'clock Eastern hour, members of the different departments there, the sheriff, the state police, and also Baton Rouge police as well. Pardon me, I want to get back now to Baton Rouge Councilman Lamont Cole and Congressman Garrett Graves of Louisiana. Representative Graves, I'm sorry, I cut you off mid-sentence again. My apologies. Continue on.
Yeah, no worries. I'm just going to say that, look, this is not our community. This is not what our community is about, and we knew early on that this couldn't have been someone who was homegrown, that we saw tensions very much escalate last weekend when folks came in from out of town and really tried to change the dynamic in terms of really ratcheting up the tension with the police. So I think that was verified that this is someone from out of town and really not what our community stands for. You've seen people very much come together following the shooting, trying to take lessons learned and make sure that we're preventing that type of violence from happening again.
Councilman Cole, Sterling's family is still trying to cope with their loss. What are they saying about today's murder of 3 police officers? We heard from the aunt, who vehemently spoke out against violence, but what are other members of the family saying?
Well, first and foremost, my condolences to the families of the fallen officers. A tragedy in the city of the worst kind. I spoke with Sandra Sterling, the aunt, about 5 times today, and she and her family and the rest of the family are totally outraged by this particular series of events that have taken place in our city. This is not what we want here in Baton Rouge, and as the congressman said, this is not what we're about. And that family, the Sterling family, being such a vital part of this community, a very large family, over 300 members of that family, they are outraged. They are against this. They didn't want to see this happen. They've already made some public statements relative to nonviolence in our community and not wanting to see this happen. They've offered their prayers and their condolences to the family as well. And so I think we all are in a state of shock. We are all saddened by the series of events, and we are praying for our community. And then we want to work and try to find some solutions so that we can move forward peacefully.
Councilman Lamont Cole, Congressman Garrett Graves of Louisiana, thank you very much, gentlemen. I appreciate it. We know it's a very busy time for you.
Thank you.
I want to bring in now Cedric Alexander, the Public Safety Director of DeKalb County in Georgia and author of The New Guardians, Policing in America's Communities for the 21st Century. Also, Bernard Carrick, the former New York City Police Commissioner, and Art Roderick, the former Assistant Director of the U.S. Marshal's Office. So, Art, so much to unpack here. We've been learning about this 29-year-old shooter. Our Chris Cuomo told us about the conspiracy videos that he had, right, the surveillance videos and monitoring. Tell us what you know about that.
Well, I mean, he was on a bunch of different websites, had joined a bunch of different groups that are strange when you look at the names of these groups. It just appears that this individual was suffering from some type of
I just went live over here on ER. I'm going to shut it down, and I'm going to transfer and go live over on NTA. Sorry about the confusion, but I'm going to stream directly to NTA. So this one will go down, and just watch NTA, and the stream should come back up, and I'll have it up there.
We talk about them
Thanks.
every single time I have to have one of these scenarios. And here's a prime example of what we've been talking about.
We also talked about it, and it was a very contentious conversation, but it's remarkably calm in the studio with Sheriff Clark. I think people at home were